Hey everyone, Effie here. Today I'm going to do a quick tutorial on our Gentle Peonies layering stencils. There are 6 stencils in this collection. Each stencil has a small etched number on it. You can see the little etched one on stencil 1 in the bottom left hand corner. So the first 4 layers of our Gentle Peonies layering stencils are the petal layers, and then the last 2 layers are the foliage layers, and then on stencil 6 there are the peony centers, and those areas are enclosed in etched circles on stencil 6, and I'll show you what I mean towards the end of this video. So let's get started with our ink blending. We're going to tape stencil 1 onto an 8.5 by 11 inch piece of cardstock, and we're going to blend with our soft orchid ink. And while we're blending this layer, blend off the corners of the stencils and onto the cardstock to create your alignment mark, so that when you take the stencil off, you have a nice shaded or blended square. And this is where you're going to place stencil number 2. So for stencil number 2, we're going to go in with a mid-tone pink, and for today's color palette we'll use our dolled up dye ink, and we're just going to use our wide flat stencil brushes for all of our blending today because we are working with 6 by 6 inch stencils. So for this layer we use our dolled up, and now we're going to place stencil 3 in that same shaded or blended square, and we're going to use a darker mid-tone ink. So we're going to use our Grand Fuchsia dye ink, and this is a beautiful darker, brighter pink ink. It's absolutely beautiful, and I feel like I don't use it as much as I should, but it is absolutely lovely in the color combination that we're using today. Once we're done with stencil 3, we're going to take that stencil off and place stencil 4 right inside our blended square, and we'll use our Plum wine dye ink, which is a nice deep plum purplish pink ink. And we're not done with our blending yet. We have our 2 foliage layers to go. For stencil 5, this is the first layer of our foliage, and we'll use our raw sea glass dye ink for this layer. Then we're going to take stencil 5 off and place stencil 6 inside the blended square. But before I do that, there are some etched circles on this layer. All of those areas inside the etched circles, we're going to blend using our lemon drop dye ink, which is a nice bright yellow. Everything else outside of the etched circles will be blended in our darker green, which is the second layer of our foliage. So I'm just going to use our standard size brushes for the peony centers, and then our standard size brush for the greenery for the second layer of the foliage, for which I used our Vineyard dye ink. And here is the finalized blended panel. How beautiful is this? I will link everything in the description box below, and for now, here are a few samples created by our design team members. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'll see you next time.